Can you actually make these beautiful designs on wood using a wood burning set? I tested this wood burning iron set from Lidl that heats up to 550 degrees Celsius, and I kinda hurt myself, but not the way you'd think. The set comes with the wood burning tool or pen, a metal stand for it for when it's hot but you're not using it, and 7 drawing or writing tips and 7 stamps with different designs you can attach to the pen. I decided to first try out the thin drawing tip that looks like a pencil. You need to wait for it to heat up for 5 minutes. And right away, as I was waiting for it to heat up, I could tell it does smell kind of bad. It's recommended to be used in a ventilated space. I decided to try it out outside. But if you do it indoors, make sure you're ventilating. I used a scrap piece of wood panel, like from paneling walls or ceiling, for the first try. The tool kind of melts the wood like butter and creates a dark brown mark. I don't think the wood panel was the best surface to use though. I tried making different kinds of markings, some more curved ones too, and some of them didn't get the brown color. I also noticed going against the grain of the wood was difficult and I'd get a staggered or dashed line or curve. I started wondering if maybe it wasn't hot enough at this point yet, even though I did let it heat up for the 5 minutes they said in the instructions. The pen was hard to manage or control. It was kind of rigid and I felt like the cord was in the way, and it also started hurting my wrist pretty fast. Of course, this was my first time using it. If you were to use it more often, you'd probably get used to it over time and it would hurt less. Dots and straight lines in the grain of the wood were pretty easy. Anything else was difficult on the wood panel. There was no way to draw the kinds of shapes I had planned. I also thought maybe I was doing it too fast, so I tried slowing down to give the tool more time to burn the wood and make the mark. For the actual wood burning art, I had prepared some wood slices. I sawed them from birch tree wood and sanded them a bit to make them smoother. I was actually preparing them for another project, but I used the ones that didn't turn out that even for this one. I did pencil sketches on the wood slices with a soft pencil to plan out the drawings first. I wanted to have something metal underneath because I did not trust the flimsy little metal stand that came with the set to actually keep the tool in place while I wasn't using it. So I wanted to have the metal underneath in case it would fall off the stand or the stand would fall, just to not have any kind of a fire hazard. That wasn't in the instructions though. So I switched to the first one of my wood slices, and again it was hard and slow to make a straight line against the grain, but at least it did clearly burn the wood and make the burnt mark. Just so you understand how slow I was going, this is how long the first wood slice took me. The pencil sketch on the wood took about 1 minute and burning it on the wood took about 10 minutes. So it's about 10 times slower than pencil drawing or sketching. And just a couple of minutes in, my hand started cramping. I think it's because the tool and the cord are so rigid that you have to use a lot of pressure to bend it to the right angle. I was using the smallest drawing tip and within a few minutes I noticed it started bending. So I guess the wood burning iron heated up so much that it started melting itself. The wood burning iron also clearly changed color to red and blue, and the drawing tip changed color too. I'll show you a before and after photo of the color and shape. I tried turning the wood burning iron in my hand so that the drawing tip would bend back the other way, but the cord made it kind of difficult. I tried putting the cord over my shoulder to help keep the wood burning iron in the right position. I did see a tip afterwards that you should turn the wood slice rather than turn your hand, so I probably wasn't moving the wood slice enough. Since I was filming outside, I had to work around the sun and I had this strange setup on the terrace or balcony floor. and there wasn't much room around me when I tried getting up after sitting in place for 15 minutes. The cord of the wood burning set is really short, so I had to have this extension cord right next to me, taking up even more space. The camera cuts off after around 15 minutes, so I had to stop and start filming again, and I was getting up and I hit myself on the railing.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really.
It hurt so much. I actually said out loud that the railing hit me, because that's what it felt like. It felt like someone hit me. And I think it hit right on a nerve, because my left ear got blocked like I had been on an airplane, and I felt like fainting afterwards. I was wondering first, was it because of the fumes from the wood burning, because it did smell bad, but I later realized it must have been because I hit a nerve. It hurt for hours afterwards, and sitting down in a certain position continued to hurt for multiple days. Now, my idea initially was to try out all the different thicknesses of the drawing and writing tips and test out all the stamp designs as well. But reading the instructions, there is a problem I found. The burning pen heats up to 550 degrees Celsius or about 1000 degrees Fahrenheit in 5 minutes, and it takes 20 minutes to cool off after you unplug the cord. And of course the drawing tips or the stamps you put in also get hot, so you'd have to wait 20 minutes every time to be able to change the tip, and there are 14 of them, so it would take really long. So basically that would have taken me all day. I was thinking, what if you use one of those fireproof gloves that you use at a chemistry lab to screw off the hot one and screw back on the next tip, and you'd have a metal dish where you put the hot tip. Maybe that would work? But this wasn't mentioned in the instructions. And to reiterate, I'm not talking about a normal oven mitt. Those cannot take temperatures like this. I'm talking about a completely different thing. I also googled that there are grill oven mitts that can handle 800 degrees Celsius, so maybe something like that, but I didn't test this idea. If you want to see me use the other tips too, I could try doing calligraphy with one of the thicker ones for another video. Looking at wood burning art online, I can see a lot of them are using a pen with a tip that looks very different, more like a wire, and apparently they have multiple pens, so they're switching the whole pen rather than waiting for the pen to cool off to switch the tip. As I said, this set is from Lidl, and I've had it in my closet for a few years, and unfortunately I don't remember the price. But from what I can see online now, it's probably around 10 euros. Lidl is not selling it at the moment that I'm making this video, but they do bring back the same products from time to time, so they'll probably sell it again eventually. Even though I'm testing this particular wood burning set for the first time, I actually have done this once before. I made a necklace at a school camp in Lapland when I was 11 or 12 at grade 6, and we got to draw and write something on a piece of reindeer antlers, if I remember correctly, and turn it into a necklace. I'll put a photo of mine here if I can find the necklace. I probably just wrote my initials on it. I was planning to fill in or color in the leaves in both of the first two designs, also using the wood burning set, but I quickly realized that it was too difficult, at least with this small drawing tip, so I gave up on that. I thought maybe I'd do some leaf veins, but even that turned into just stripes that look kind of strange. For the third one, I was supposed to do a flower design with more and more layers of petals around the center, again filling them all in to make dark brown petals. By now, I realized that wasn't going to happen. I did manage to still make something kind of curved and petal looking in the center, but from there on out, it had to just be straight lines. My hand was killing me. I could not do any more curved lines in such a small size. I think I accidentally burned a triangle on the wood with the body of the wood iron. This turned out looking more like dandelion fluff than a flower. at least at first. I had imagined maybe wood burning would make some kind of a sound, but it really didn't. It smells and there's some smoke coming out of it, but it's completely quiet. I did sand down the wood slices in the beginning, but I think they should have been even smoother for this to work better. And besides wood, this is also supposed to work on leather and cork. And it works better on some parts of the wood, like the wood iron seems to melt through the branch parts. And then I just turned all the lines into triangles too and started adding dots to fill in the background. I desperately tried coloring in the triangles to make it somehow resemble the design I was trying to make. I thought the wood iron and the drawing tip would return back to the original color after cooling down, but they never did. The drawing tip turned grey and the wood burning pen turned permanently red and blue. So what will I do with the wood slices? I think I'll add hooks and turn them into wall art. But what happened when I tested another Crelando art supply outdoors at wintertime in the freezing cold? Watch me travel 400 kilometers to test out these travel watercolor brushes in this video here. See you there!